everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the wild beyond the Witchlight, Part 22, The Case of the Hag's Cage. Today is June 26th, 2022, and you are loved. This is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. And especially if you are living in the United States, where most of us, I believe all of us currently are living, please remember that you are loved. It's important. It's still Pride Month. We're out here having a great time playing Dungeons and Dragons, which, hey, if you like having a great time, you like Dungeons and Dragons, you can go to youtube.com/indoor adventures to check up on all the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indoor adventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at, again, patreon.com/indoor adventures, or you can go to check out our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side that I've posted twice now because I have a little bit of coffee brain going on, and it's so fucking hot where I am that it's a little bit of jellies all up in here, so don't worry about that. But let's say that you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Twitch and Patreon and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We got tank tops that you can get as well. And currently, all of the proceeds from our merchandise is going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you want to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey, RJ, who you playing today?
I thought you were introducing me. Hi, everybody. I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Vice, the Tiefling Warlock Rogue.
Hi, everybody. My name's Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I'll be playing Lowry Moon, the Hexblood Spore Druid, who is also somehow sunburnt.
Hi, everybody. I am Mediaflare, they, them, and I was playing Pamferdam, the Gnome Artificer.
I gotta follow that up. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm gonna be playing as Clout Impkin, the Tiefling Bard.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, as Mediaflare stated, Pam is, he got eated. He got eated by a hag, which, that hag, being Bavlorna Blightclaw, was the previous Archfey here at the Lands of Hither. It was your group, as well as the hag Alessandra, played by her very own at Alyssa Vamp on Twitter, or colloquially known as Satan, that you all decided that you were going to team up and overthrow this hag in the one way that your group truly knew how: violence. It was upon doing this that you ended up having to fight against the hag, fight Bavlorna Blightclaw, with the assistance on her end by a Harengon named Agden Longscarf. Throughout the battle, things were tough. Pam leaped off their steel defender, stabbed Bavlorna, and proceeded to get eaten by Bavlorna after her Lornlings did little stabby hands on him. And Clout went down during combat. Vice, you wanted nothing more than to murderize Agden Longscarf once and for all. However, after getting hit with a magical branding iron, he turned invisible to you. Lowry, you were struck with that same branding iron as Agden once again turned invisible to you. And we last saw him leaving the facility quicker than snot. At this point, you could feel the world shift and the tide the tide of the pulsing magics of the Feywild turn, as well as Lowry, the contract that you had written with Alessandra, came to fruition. Alessandra taking on the powers of the Feywild, this temporary Archfey ability in Hither. At this point, again, Agden, open the door, long gone. He has vacated the facility, but you are out of combat. Bavlorna has fallen backwards into her pool of water that has been steadily draining. The Lornlings that she had that were under her control and were creations of her have also disappeared at this point. You notice that Clout is currently bleeding out into this pool of fetid water. Lowry, what would you and Vice like to do as you see that Alessandra is just like there? You can see from behind that veil of hers that there is a immense power that just seems to be radiating, and she is just standing in place focusing on her breathing as she finds herself stronger than she ever has.
Vice eyes Clout in the water, turning to Lowry. Can you pick the dumbass up? And he's going to run over to where the hag was and just claws out right along the stomach to try and pull Pam out.
So, yeah, Vice, as you go to go right along their stomach, you just see that there is like this like lurching motion from inside Bavlorna as whatever she had swallowed previously, being Pam, makes their way up, and you can just see, eyes closed, a look of almost peace through this like partially like stomach acidy disintegrated Pam in this long mouth of Bavlorna.
Lowry will healing word Clout for 11 points. That's healing word 3rd level. Does Pam need help too? I have more spell slots that I can use. Do you need help? Why does your face look like that?
Vice, make a medicine check.
I'm not Vice. I'm Cloud.
I
Are
know.
you talking to me?
That's why I said Vice,
No,
make a medicine
me.
check.
Okay.
It's an 18.
An 18. Vice, you've done a lot of dirty jobs before. You've been in a lot of situations where you recognize that the person that Lowry is asking if you would like to heal is beyond magical means.
You know what? This may not be the time, but it also absolutely is the time. Isn't there usually a table that we roll on when somebody dies in the Feywild?
It is. That is true. Pam, would you like to, or I guess Mediaflare, would you like to roll a d8 for me?
Sure, I can do some of that. 1, 2, 8.
I know we're all about to grieve really hard, but like, if we're gonna do this, this would be the time to do it.
Just be a weird magical thing, like JK, they're okay. 7.
7. So, on a 7, the creature's corpse is preserved for 10 days as though affected by a gentle repose. While preserved in this way, they are encased in an opalescent film like the skin of a bubble. Any further damage to the corpse breaks the spell. Which, having been inside of Bavlorna, there would just be no additional effect. So Pam is still not healable, we'll say.
Unless you have something that can bring back the dead, I don't think we're getting Pam back.
What? No, he's fine. He's just, it's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Here. She will actually try healing word and come over and start fussing over Pam.
Okay.
Obviously, those 6 points of healing aren't going to do anything. He's going to be fine. He has to be. We'll get him help. We can find help, right? I mean, Alessandra's, she has a lot of power now. Maybe she can. She is looking at Vice with just sheer desperation in her eyes as tears start to flow down her cheeks.
There's an arm that goes over her shoulder and just pulls her in.
He's got to be okay.
Let's make sure that there isn't going to be 2 funerals today. You lead her over to Clout.
Clout just received a healing word, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
He's busy hacking up fetid water.
Hey, I know that you've just gone through a awakening, but we're not done here.
What are you talking about?
Pam didn't make it.
Yeah, so what? Neither did I one time.
So what? We wait around how many odd hours to see if he comes back?
Maybe? I don't know. I wasn't exactly around when it happened to me. Clout's gonna get up and splash over to Pam, just sort of running a hand through his hair.
Again, Pam is still inside the mouth of Bavlorna. So are you, like, putting a hand into her mouth?
Yeah, I mean, he's dumb. He doesn't care.
Okay. We'll say, for the sake of grossness, that as Bavlorna continues to, like, her Archfey powers are receding. She is kind of deflating, and as she does, it, like, no room for Pam in the inn of her gut.
I mean,
And
like,
just like a
stop me if
snake
this
from
is-
skin.
Stop me if this is too gross.
Sure.
Like, have you guys ever seen, like, a dried out frog? Just like a dead dried out frog? Like, I imagine she just, like, slowly desiccates and mummifies and
Yeah.
then just, like, bah!
And from this gullet of Bavlorna, Pam's body, and then there is a key that follows Pam as well.
Clout will pick up Pam, and then I imagine, like, the key just sort of, like, bounces. and he'll,
Splooshes
like,
into the water.
God damn it. He'll summon a mage hand and reach around for it in the water.
Okay.
Fish it out, carry Pam's body over to some dry spot somewhere. Put him down. I don't know, how long did it take for me to come back?
Few hours.
Okay, a few hours, nips over to the noodle house, and then he's back.
Little house?
There was a noodle house. Like, don't ask me to explain it, it's hard to remember things. It's gonna be fine.
Clout, as you say this, there is a form that kneels down beside you. And you hear Alessandra's voice. I can try to bring him back.
Right, fuck, we know 2 Archfey. No, obviously.
Please
In
try
my-
it.
Of course, Lowry, dear. In my current state, I can feel the entire land of Hither beating as one heart. A heart in my chest. And she puts a hand down and touches Pam's chest, and she closes her eyes as well as you can tell. You're guessing. The veil makes it difficult to see. But she gets the, like, body movement. Like, this is happening. And as she does, you hear a muttering, and it's almost like there is a second layer of tonnage that comes from Alessandra's mouth. And you see this vibrant green energy course from her fingers onto Pam. And nothing happens. And you see her fingers close, and she, using her quarterstaff, stands up and looks towards you, Lowry, and says, I'm so sorry, dear.
He asked He has to come back.
Spells and magics like this only work if the soul wishes to return. I have left the door open. But looking upon his face, young Pamferdam was tired. I believe your friend deserves the rest that they received. Not in a malicious sense, mind you. But that they led a hard life.
Who's gonna make toys for the kids when we go back?
No. We know 2 unicorns. Will of the Woods. There's something we can do. There's gotta be something.
Don't understand, Clout. For revival magics to work, the soul needs to be willing to come back.
No, you don't understand. We were gonna get his hands back. He was gonna make toys. God damn it! He's just gonna leave. He'll kick something on his way out.
Are you leaving the building or going further into Bavlorna's cottage?
Don't leave the building. He needs to go outside and
Okay.
be mad for a while.
The tree is standing right outside the door.
Fist fight!
This wasn't anyone's fault. Just some bad events that happened one after the other. What we can do now is... I assume Pam would want his body to be useful. And Vice is going to break away from Lowry. Head over to Pam and scoop him up.
And Lowry, Alessandra, you just feel her arm around your shoulder and she just pulls you into a hug. And she says, "I'm sorry."
Should have fought Bad Lorna too. Shouldn't have gone after that stupid herring god.
Don't blame yourself. This was a difficult time. This was a hard fight. You did what you thought was right. Life isn't easy, Lowry, you know this. Do you know why we are in the book club? It is not to read the stories that others have forgotten, but it is to preserve the stories of the people we care about most. If you want to truly make this up to your friend, tell his story. Let others know of this great toy maker. And make my sister pay. You've already knocked 2 down. There's only 1 more.
I just don't want to lose any of the others.
And she puts a hand on top of your head and says, "I know you won't. Because even if they're gone, they're never really gone.
Lowry will just nod and cry into Alessandra's shoulder for a while.
And she will just like take you in and like pat on your back and just let you cry. Meanwhile, outside of the home,
She's gonna find something solid and punch it.
okay, well, there is the side of this house because again, it's like it's standalone in the middle of this lake. So your options are beat the side of the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this house sucks. He'll just punch this house a lot. He'll punch it till his knuckles bleed. He doesn't care.
Okay. Yeah. Take 1 point of damage as you make your knuckles bleed. And Vice, you had picked up Pam.
And he picked up the bag of holding that Pam had,
Okay.
and he's walking out of the house. If Clout is there, there is a very
not-
soft lullaby that Vice is humming to himself as he's walking towards the mushroom patch.
Okay. Again, you are in the middle of a body of water.
Right. I forgot about
There's
that.
no like easy quick walk. There's only one place to go that you would see Cloud, and that is down a set of stairs near a dock that you would need to take a boat to then get to land to then get to the mushroom patch.
Joke's on fucking you. I activate my wings.
Okay. Sounds good. Are you taking time to talk to Cloud at all? Or just wings and away?
There is probably a blanket wrapped around Pamferdam as Vice is walking up the Clout. Keep punching anymore, and Alessandra's going to have words with you.
We'll just look at him.
I know it's hard to lose someone, Clout. Do your best to vent your anger productively.
He'll take a deep breath. Just give me a bit. I'm sure Alessandra can fix a house. Just punches some more.
Yeah. There's a head nod from Vice and just a...
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, you fly off. Okay. So Lowry, you are hearing this like coming from outside, and you can hear like Clout's consternated like rah! Like as he's doing so, and Alessandra is comforting you to the best of her ability. How long would you like to remain here?
Lowry will collect herself and go outside the hut to where the thumping is coming from.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, Clout, you are like taking a pause, I would think, from punching to like look down at your knuckles as Lowry sees you from afar. And by afar, I mean, like, again, 20 feet. There's really not much to go, not much place to be out here.
I think when he feels somebody like starting to get close, he goes, I said he didn't want to fucking talk about. Sorry, I thought you were Vice.
That's fair. Can I have a hug?
Yeah. He'll get in close and just sort of open up his arms.
Lowry's gonna give him a big hug and stay there quietly for a while. And if he looks down, there's a mushroom that slowly grows in front of the others on her hat. That's smaller than the others. Except for one. There is one other small mushroom on that hat. But the spots that grow on the cap of the mushroom are raised, slightly resembling a pair of goggles.
I think he gives it a concerned look. He doesn't really say anything, but then he just gives it like, better fucking behave yourself kind of look. Like, he can't talk telepathically, but like internally he's saying, I will fry you up with butter if you hurt her.
I love that Lowry's mental state has been explained to him and he still doesn't get it. Where did Vice go anyways?
I don't know. He said something about Pam wanting his body to be useful, so I assume he's burying him.
Should we let him do it alone?
Probably not.
As the two of you are saying this, Clout, you hear what sounds like a rattling of like metal being shaken, and you begin to hear like a clamor, and it seems like it is coming about a story up on this house and close to the edge of the corner, and you can't really see what is making this, but there are 3 cages that are actually hanging on the outside of this building.
Fuck is that?
And Lowry, as you look to where Clout is looking, from the cage closest to you, you see 2 tiny little gauntleted hands grab onto the sides of a bar as this serpentine-like face pokes their head up, and you see what looks to be it's almost like a dragon, but imagine the fanciest dragon that you have ever seen in your entire life. Let me get a good picture of this individual for you.
I'll pull up a picture for questions for the courts.
Oh no!
As you see a small serpentine dragon with a fancy goatee and mustache poke their head up from between a cage and just, hello there, yes, excuse me, sorry. No, I told you, I heard scuffle down there. No, hello, yes. Question. I heard a scuffle down there, and my compatriot and I, my former squire, were wondering, is everything okay? And if it is, could you possibly be of some assistance? We're on a terribly important duty.
What duty is that?
Well, my companion and I, Balhader, we have been told by Queen Titania herself of the Sealy Courts to figure out what it was that's wrong with, hither, thither, and yon, this plane of Prismere. And, well, we arrived here not some 10 days ago, if that is a unit of measurement that you are familiar with, and there was a balloon crash and a lot of other things that happened, and, well, I could really get into it, but as a whole, we've been stuck in these cages for the last, we'll say, little bit. And if it's all right with you, I'd prefer not to be stuck in this cage. And from, there is a shadow that seems to, like, overstretch behind this small individual, this very tiny, draconic-looking nobleman, and just... Sorry, where are my manners? I am Sir Talavar, and this is Balhadur Morthak. And what does Balhadur look like for what Clout and Lowry are able to see?
So, you see looming over Sir Talavar a somewhat reflective, translucent dragonborn. They have golden orange scales similar to a sunburnt topaz. The material of their scales gives some similarity to the crystalline material on Vice's arm, if someone were to wear a skin suit of it. It is a heavyset dragonborn. It looks like they are well-fed and much older than like the typical adventurer. And they have a wide, toothy smile and a purple tongue with some blue scaling around the eyes and corner of their mouth. And they just...
A pleasure to meet you. I'd love to meet you more in a personal matter if you'd like to let us down.
You're not gonna want to fight us, are you? I really don't have the emotional bandwidth for that right now.
Well, is there a reason we should be combating one another?
I don't think so. Did you say Titania?
Are you ne'er-do-wells?
Like
I said, we are on a mission from Titania, Queen of the Summer Courts. If you assist us, we can lend you an incredible amount of aid, but as you see, we're trapped, as it were.
You want to just boost me up and look at them down?
I got it.
Okay.
He'll pluck the Folkluken Bandor and cast Fly on himself.
Oh, incredible.
See, I told you, we just had to be patient. Someone would show up again.
Well, you know, sometimes you really need to take things into your own hands about... look, this isn't going to be a repeat, okay? We're not going to have... Look, it's fine. You know what? Maybe I should do... Look, are we doing a good night, bad night?
Well, I think we should just do the same thing we did during the shattered statue.
Ah, yes, good night, good night.
Clout's gonna try and open the cage on its own before it occurs to him that he's got a key. And he'll try that.
The key does not fit in the lock, but you see that this small individual just... Oh yes, terribly sorry. I am Sir Talavar as well. I don't know if I've already introduced myself or not, but it at least gives you something to call me other than his royal lordship.
Uh-huh. He's gonna try and bend the bars.
Yeah, make a strength check.
With his fucking anger. 19.
19? Just like super easy. And just, oh, nice, strapping young man.
I appreciate the show of vigor.
He reminds me of the case of the twin teddies, but like the one that was, you know, invoking upon the children.
Okay, before you get too distracted, I can only fly for so long, so, like, come on.
And Sir Talavar, with their small little fairy dragon wings, flies up and out.
I got a question,
yes.
Friends, pals, esteemed guests. I can't help but notice that Balhadur is a Drake Warden.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Is this your fucking Drake?
Who's to say?
You guys are gonna be doing this for the rest of the game, aren't you?
Oh,
it's
now
not
you're
gonna-
asking a lot of questions and we just met. I know I'm a bit of a heavy-set person myself, so if you don't mind, I'll take care of myself in the landing.
If you say so. Wait a second, you got wings.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
son Taraval can take care of himself.
Yes, flying has been my specialty since I was but a wee lad.
Balhadur will lean at the edge of the cage and kind of do a.
Yeah.
And about halfway down, as they accelerate, Topaz wings appear. Similar mechanical concept as Vice's temporary wings. And there's a heavy thud as they come to the ground. And then the
Excellent
wings
showmanship.
disappear.
Interesting. Clout will hop down as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, you are actually incredible up there. Now, and Talavar like looks in the door and just, oh, that's a lot of corpses in there. No, thank you. Just kind of like comes over to you and just, as I said, friend, you have my esteemed gratitude, Balhadur. Do you
Yes.
think that you'll be able? I need to report what I've just witnessed to Titania. Do you think that you'll be able to handle our gratitudes?
I can extend our thanks and continue the investigation here while you go back and report to Titania.
Excellent, thank you. Now, before then, you there, strong man. And this very regal-looking fairy dragon comes up to you. I
Clout
told
sort of
you
looks
that I would...
behind him first, and then like, oh shit, yeah, no, obviously that's me.
You've given us incredible aid in freeing us from these hags' cages. What should we call this one, Bahadur? I'm thinking the case of the hag's cage.
It isn't a title we've used yet.
Don't worry, there's always time for more adventures. Now then, you, strong man, I offer you the greatest thing a knight can possibly offer. My sword. And he lays what appears to be his size a longsword in front, and his head is bowed.
Wow, that's a really nice gift. I don't really use weapons. He'll like reach out and take it to be polite. Like, how big is it for him?
It's a dagger for you.
Fist.
You know, the journey back might be perilous. Maybe you should hold on to that and give it to Clout at a later date.
Trust me, I'm a violet pseudo-dragon. I can
I don't know
take
what that
care of
means.
myself.
Okay.
Heard him. He's a violent pseudo dragon.
Plus, they can always rearm themselves when they get back to the court.
Exactly. With such news, Titania is sure to bestow me with boons and gifts galore.
Guess I gotta peel apples sometime. I'll tuck it away. Just stick it in his belt.
And flits up to Balhadur's like eye line and just, I remember. If you need me, I'm just a call away.
I shall keep that in mind. I still have the gem to let me know if you're available.
As always, Balhadur, another case solved. Ta-ta! And just flies very quickly away.
Safe journeys, my friend. I shall see you soon.
I'm gonna go help bury our friend. It was nice meeting you.
A pleasure. It seems that you all are the cause of the combat that happened inside.
So, how'd you wind up in there?
In a literal sense, or the long story.
Give me the short version if you got it.
I was captain, put up there with my companion.
Right. Sounds like something Bev Lorna would do. How long ago was that?
Like 5 days you've been in that cage.
I've been up there myself for about 5 days. I was sent to look for my companion after they've gone missing for about a 10 day.
I have a question. When was the last time that we were here?
About 6.5 days ago, 7
Oh,
days
okay.
ago.
I was like, was he up there and we totally missed him?
One of them.
Incredible.
I suppose that you'll have some mourning that you'd like to do first. We can have plenty of time to catch up. Until then, I need to look for my supplies inside. And I would not like to take any time of mourning and healing that you might need.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, there's a new archfey in charge. Her name is Alessandra. She's cool. Just let her know that you're not here to, I don't know, kill her or something.
And what is their relationship with the city court?
Lowry? She already gone?
It's just you and me.
I don't really know. She's book club.
Balladur, you
like
can
a
make
wizard.
A history or an arcana check?
Ooh, intelligence checks? Yay.
First, look at how smart you are.
All right. 14.
A 14? Yeah, like a wizard or something?
Well, if they're a wizard, I think the Queen and King would be pleased to meet them, so long as they aren't as hostile as the last leader of these realms. I have 1,000 questions, but I don't want to take up any more of your time presently.
Listen, we just had a death. So, I'm not really in the mood to be answering questions right now, but,
Yes. Well, like I said, take the time you need. Morning comes first. Action can come later. We have plenty of time to talk.
sure. Thanks for the, sword.
It will come of use. It has been a good service for my companion.
I can imagine. Nice to meet you. It was Balhadur?
Balhadur Morthak of House Balhadur, servant of the Queen Titania of the City Court, ruler of the Feywild.
Right, I'm Humbug.
It is good to know you, Humbug. Please, take care of your own first.
Yeah, okay. Sort of shuffles his feet a little bit.
You still got that fly up, just okay.
Yep.
And then Balhadur will, all right, time to look for my supplies.
And head back inside to rummage around and find their equipment.
And Clout, as you are flying away, you hear the door open, followed just by, "And who is this delightful little gentleman?" And then you hear the same introduction of Balhadur as you continue to float away. Meanwhile, on the other shore, Vice, you have Pamferdam's body. You are going over towards the mushroom field. Lowry, you have arrived on the other shore, and you just see Vice walking with purpose, like at the edge of the mushroom field.
Vice is going to find a spot next to a really big cap mushroom and start digging with his claw.
Okay.
Do you want this? Lowry will hold up her shovel.
When you say cap mushrooms, are you talking about the red cap mushrooms?
It's a field of giant mushrooms.
This is where you found the sad Eladrin, right?
Yeah.
There is music being played. He is also not an Eladrin. He is a wood elf.
He's a blue wood
but
elf.
he's so sad.
They're blue in like a metaphorical sense, not a literal sense.
Yeah, and you can still hear that there is kind of like a somber melody being played.
Thank you, Lowry. You'll take the shovel and use that.
Yeah, and after, like, it takes a while to keep digging, and if you continue digging, like, as you continue digging and Clout makes their way over, the melody stops that you can hear, and Octavian will actually make their way towards your group upon hearing this sound of, like, shovel into dirt repeatedly.
When Clout arrives, he'll just kind of like wordlessly put a hand out to Vice to take the shovel.
He'll hand it up.
He'll finish the job.
Okay.
Octavian, you beautiful bastard. Sorry you've caught us at a bad time.
Well, it's always a bad time here and hither, is it not?
I mean, not so much for you anymore.
What do you mean?
Hag's dead. You can go and get your heart back.
They not. Thank you. Then they look and see what you're doing, and Octavian pauses and says, "Did you know them well?"
Only so much for a 10-day. I know a bit about them, though.
What were they like?
Tired all the time. But he was a brilliant individual. A toy maker from Maharan. Before that, child soldier. Came here to Prismere looking for the hands that were taken from him. A lot
Yeah.
of fight. Sorry, go ahead.
He had a very big heart.
A lot of fight and spirit in a little body.
Octavian nods and says, "He sounds like a great man."
He is a great man. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Vice walks off.
And Octavian will pull out a small set of pipes and just begins to play something. It's somber. Most of his songs are somber at this point, but it definitely assists with the overall mood, I would think.
When Vice gets behind a large mushroom, he'll pull out the bag of holding and reach a hand in. Well, he'll open it and call for Clapperclaw.
Oh boy! And you just see like this little light inside of the bag. I don't have a body right now, but a little hand up could help.
You got it, bud. Scoops the head out.
So, wow! I'm not used to being pulled out of the bag by you. How's it going? Did we win?
Yeah, we did, Clappy.
Oh, yay! Is Pam good? Is better? I know that I saw him get eaten by that hag, and she's nasty, but I tried punching her really hard in the stomach to try and make her go like, and like try and get her up, but she wouldn't. And so I just kept punching, and then this tiny little like knife hands guys, they just kept going and going and going and going, and then I fell apart, and I couldn't keep myself together anymore. But that's okay, because Pam always builds me a better body every time I fall apart.
Vice finds a fallen log to sit on, puts Clapperclaw on his lap, and just like pats the top of his head.
Where is he? He's probably out making me that new body, huh?
Pam didn't make it, Clappy.
He didn't? No, I seen Pam. Pam makes all my bodies. He definitely made those.
No, I mean, when we were fighting the hag, he died.
Huh?
We tried to revive him, but he's resting now, Pam. Or Clappy. I wanted to talk to you before heading back over. Make sure you knew what the situation was. Would you like to say goodbye?
And there is, like, as you're holding this, like, head of Clapper Claw, there is just this, like, rattling sound. And you hear Clapper making the ugliest crying noises.
I don't want to say goodbye. I just said hello. I was in the dark for a long time. I didn't have a head. I had a gourd for a head. I had lobster claw heads. And then he gave me a body, not once, but twice, but 3 times. And then we were all going to go back, and it was going to be like having a family again.
I know, Clapperclaw.
Back! And there's just, like, sobbing. Like, there's no, like, visible tears, but Clapper is, like, hollering.
I really wish we could have done something more for him. I honestly do.
There's just, like, inconsolable hiccups. As you know that even as a spirit bound to a material body, they still are at heart a child.
There's just some gentle head pats. Let Clapperclaw cry it out.
There
Clappy
is
people.
a dull glow next to you, Vice, as you see Whisper come up, and they just, like, gently bump against Clapperclaw.
There will be a time in everyone's life when people that you love have to say goodbye to you, Clappy. Sometimes it's temporary. Sometimes it's a little more permanent. In the second case, what we can do for Pam now is remember him, honor him. He'll never be truly gone.
Mr. Vice,
Yeah.
is Pam gonna go to the dark hot place? Where my parents and I went?
Could I religion check that?
Yeah.
$16?
16. Pam did not seem to ascribe to any of the Forgotten Realms Sword Coast religions. Pam most likely did or was not going to go towards any of the afterlives that those on the Sword Coast are destined to otherwise.
No, Pam's from a different place. And he's also a good person. So whatever the equivalent of the good place is for us, he's probably there.
And there is just a that is followed, like, there is a silence and then just like a gentle tender rattling.
I'll see what I can do about building a new body. I think Pam left the blueprints somewhere.
And there is a not dejected, but a very almost hollow sounding okay.
There's just a tightness in Vice's arms as he just hugs the head of Clapperclaw. It should be done by now. Let's go say goodbye.
And there is silence from Clapperclaw. And when you arrive back, Lowry, you and Clout have, through a combination of druidcraft and being strong as hell with a shovel, you have been able to create a place for Pam. And you see Vice returns with the head of Clapperclaw in his arm. And Whisper just sort of like trailing behind.
Before they lower the body down, Vice is going to go over to Pam and take his goggles off and put them on Clapperclaw.
Hell yeah. Okay.
As Clout finishes the grave, he climbs out and just sort of mutters to himself, getting real sick of digging graves.
I'm very sick of filling them. Let's get this over with.
Are you sure this is what he would have wanted?
Judging from his prior conversation of using things that people don't need anymore, I think this is fitting.
Alright, well. Just make sure we get his stuff. He'd want that to be useful.
Bag of holding over the shoulder.
You want to say anything, Lowry?
I'm gonna miss you, Pam. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah. Pam still has some unfinished business here.
No, we're still gonna find his hands. We owe him that much.
You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to be complete, Pamferdam, but that's something we'll promise you. Vice is gonna turn away, and the arm that's not holding Clapperclaw goes up to his face, and he's just rubbing at his eyes. Fucking spores.
Well, if we're done here,
Have we
That'll-
covered over the grave?
It's mostly covered over at this point.
Lowry will get down on her knees and sink her hands into the ground and cast plant growth. And she will combine that with her druid craft to grow sporocarp over Pam's grave, because that way Pam can be useful, because that's a fungi that does feed on decomposing bodies. And she will fill the rest of the space with wildflowers.
And as you finish, I think that Octavian, like, puts a hand on your shoulder and just, like, gives it a light squeeze. And he says, I didn't know him much, if at all. But I'm sure he would love this. Then he'll
I hope
just
so.
sort of, like, pat your shoulder and then assist you in standing up if you take his hand.
Clout still knelt down from having helped push dirt into the grave. He's gonna lean in real close to the earth, and he's gonna say, "We're gonna find those hands. And then I'm gonna find Zavilna. She's gonna fix this." I'll just kind of pat the ground and stand up.
Okay.
Vice is gonna hand off Clapperclaw to either Clout or Lowry, whoever take him.
Oh, I can.
Oh, hands you also the bag of holding.
Oh.
Let's regroup back at the inn. I'm going to help Octavian here find his heart.
It might be back in Blightclaw's hut.
No, I know where it is.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, she's using it to keep all the taxidermy stuff chilled.
Gross.
I know.
So, wouldn't that be back at the hut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I'm going that way too to talk to Alessandra.
Oh. Okay.
Right. Oh, Vice, there's this, weird lizard person there.
I think they prefer the term Dragonborn.
Right. Well, there was two of them. One of them gave me their, like, pulls out a knife, sword.
They were much smaller. Like-
Yeah, some sort of purple noodle.
Mm-hmm.
What did the other one look like?
Goldish?
Really, this is really not the time to choose to be colorblind.
Goldish with a very nice smile?
Yeah, short, kind of a throat sack.
Wearing purple? I can introduce you.
What were the nature of these two dragonkin? Like, why
Well-
were they here?
To see what was happening here.
Yeah, they work for Tatiana.
Titania.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I would not take the Queen of the Fae's name very lightly.
Listen,
They
she
think-
can, if she has a problem with it, she can come here and kick my ass.
There, you hear, like, thunder off in the distance.
Sorry, ma'am.
I'll introduce you to them. They seem nice.
In the genuinely nice, or how I present myself to people nice?
Oh no, they seem more like me than like you.
Oh, okay. Well then.
But also be nice to them.
Do I have to?
I don't have the emotional bandwidth to fight with you. Please be nice to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. She'll take Vice by the arm and start walking back that way.
Okay. All right, and as your group proceeds back to now Alessandra's secondary home, her nice summering home, if anything, That is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go to a place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! And we're back! Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign. We are in episode 22 of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I don't know. Like, I usually go off of the title descriptions on Twitch, but sometimes, like in our Four Keeps campaign, I get messed up, and I accidentally say that it's the wrong title, it's the wrong episode that we're actually on. But because I've been trying to think, like, there has to be a better way of keeping track of that kind of information. RJ, do you know of a better way that I could possibly remember, like, what episode title that we're on?
Oh yeah, I don't have one myself, but if you go to the Rook and the Raven and pick up one of their... What was that? That sounded like a doorknob.
Sorry, I accidentally hit my microphone.
Okay. If you go to Rook and the Raven and use the code HypeGoblin, you too can get yourself one of their premium notebooks, inside of which you can use to write, like, scenarios, NPCs, has like your item list. They go all the way from D&D 5e to like Pathfinder.
Mine even says session number in it, so I could stop being a dummy if I actively used this more.
If you're looking on screen right now and saying, oh gee, those covers are so good, sad to say, but Rook and the Raven does monthly covers, so you could pick up something new, not shown here. I believe...
you can pick up this one.
Yeah, it's the rainbow one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous.
And if they still have them in stock, you could even get the same premium leather cover that I currently have. This was actually a gift from Rook and the Raven. Thank you, Rook and the Raven. Use 15% off, or use code HypeGoblin for 15% off. Get yourself something nice. It smells so good.
That's the leather in the pages.
Something that you can't say about a lot of books. This book smells nice.
This book smells so good. Well,
right.
I mean, like, you remember, like, way back in the day when you get a fresh game and you open up the game manual and just...
For me, as a Magic the Gathering player, it was whenever I would open up packs of cards, like that fresh factory smell that came with it.
When I first moved to Nashville 9 years ago, I worked in a boot shop selling high-end leather boots to folks, and
just brings you on
smelled
back.
like this. It brings me back.
Yeah.
And speaking of being brought back, guys, we've just returned from our break. 3 of you are making your way back to Bavlorna's, now Alessandra's hut, where, Balladur, you have been introduced, in a sense, to this hag Alessandra. Alessandra, from what you have been able to gather, is not part of the Sealy Court, but she's not part of the Unsealy Court either. She doesn't seem really to be involved in the like light and dark dynamics that are of the rest of the Feywild, but she does reveal the information that she is a hag. She has recently been placed in charge of this demiplane, or at least a third of this overall demiplane, and she has no intention of hurting any individuals, of causing any issues. She's simply here in the meanwhile while Zybilna is freed. But at the same time, she is still a hag, but, you know, she's assured you she's one of the good ones.
And you mentioned that Zybilna is currently needing to be free. Explain that to me.
Well, from what I've been able to gather from my daughter's friends, is that she is trapped within a palace at the center of this demiplane, and only a unicorn's horn can free her. Some sort of, well, hag magic, you know. You know how it works, yes. We all know how it works, and that it plays by its own set of rules. So, she's trapped in some sort of temporal stasis. The unicorn's horn will free her, but in order to free her, you do need to go through, at this point, there's hither, thither, and yon. So
Yes, I noticed there was a bit of a territory cut up.
Yes. And you're in my territory right now. My new territory. I'm still getting the feel of it, but as it still stands, you can tell Titania that she has nothing to worry about. I have good faith in my daughter and her friends.
And you are comfortable with the release of Zybilna and the return of their version of this realm?
Oh, certainly.
Fantastic. That's the person we're here to look for, so long as you're on her side, then I consider you an ally of mine.
She just nods. And then, I imagine this conversation is being had in the study. And she goes to offer you some tea and then realizes that these are not her cupboards. And then she just spends some time, looking through it, trying to find anything to offer you as far as a beverage goes.
And while she's looking around, the Balhadur is struggling to
Get that. I'm strapped on. I might have packed on a few pounds since retirement. I think I can still. I just have to tuck in a few flaps. Yeah.
get suited up.
Okay, yeah, and you are fully geared now, and it is around this time that you hear the door open downstairs, and the rest of the party ends up coming back to Bavlorna's cottage. Hearing the sound, Alessandra says, "Oh, those must be the children." And
Children?
yes, like I said, my daughter and her friends.
Well, that's your daughter down there. Which one of them?
There is if you could hear a blink, just like blink, 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 just the one with the mushroom hat, dear.
Ah, is that part of them, or just an accessory?
It's an accessory. It's very stylish. It's very fashionable.
Are they a book club member too?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Interesting.
She's only a few contracts away from making me read a romance novel, which I kind of wanted to read anyways, but you can't tell her that. She might jump ahead. I have to incentivize her somehow, you know.
Understandable. You need to give the youths goals for them to achieve. I will
Yes.
keep your secret.
Of course. As your group comes in, you can see that that pool of water that you had worked at breaking down has fully drained away, and Bavlorna's lily pad still rests, kind of like hovering ever so slightly off of the ground. But it doesn't seem to have disappeared with her, and you can hear Alessandra and this kind of burlier voice coming from up the stairs that Lowry, both you and Clout, would recognize as Balhadur.
You know, I'm a grandfather myself.
Really?
That's right.
A family.
I think I have about 32 living little ones right now.
Oh my, that's quite the number. An active grandfather you are.
I have to train the youths. It is part of our culture. So I have to stay somewhat fit, even though I may have been more well-fed since retirement.
Oh, you just have the power lifter body going on, dear. And as Balhadur, you're laughing. The rest of you, should you so choose, make your way up to the study.
Alessandra, we're back.
Yes, I could hear. I'm trying to find something to drink in this god-awful place, but they don't...
You might want to bring in your own. She served us tea the first time we were here.
Oh.
The flavor's not a good choice.
Nothing is a good choice
The
here.
dishware needs work, to say the least, and it looks like all she has is... I don't want to dark on it, but sometimes store-bought isn't fine. Sometimes you need something more homegrown.
We have a bit of a problem. I was wondering if you could help us.
As much as I could.
This is Clapperclaw. Lowry will. Or does Vice have him, or does Lowry?
I gave you Clapperclaw.
Okay.
You just hear a little rattling shake.
Pam used to build him bodies, and Do you have anything that we can put him in? Body-wise?
Well, that depends. And she extends her hand out.
Hands over Clapper.
Clapper Claw.
Yeah? Hello, nice lady.
Just, yes, I am very nice. I was friends with Pam. I'm friends with Lowry. I'm friends with Vice. And I'm friends with Clout.
There's no reason to be scared, Clapper. She's gonna help.
I
Vice leans over to Clout. I mean, there are a few things to be scared of.
Now, Clapper Claw, I could give you a body. We could make you one, if you wanted.
What do you mean, make me one?
Well, as long as you don't mind it being made of roots and plant matter, could easily form you one. You could look like the way that you did before, or you could be made of wood, or
Pam always made me into metal. Metal and wood.
well, I can't really help with metal, but roots and vines and the strongest that the green has to offer. Would you like that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Come with me. And she will set Clapper Claw's like modular headpiece where Clapper's spirit was. And she'll go over to one of these like potted plants that's died, and she'll like sink her hand into the soil, and you just watch as the plant seems to like get revitalized and begins to grow. And the four of you watch, well, five, including Octavian, who's just like, this is wild. Like, just like watching this interaction. That she forms this plant into what looks to be about the size of a young boy, of about like 10 to 12 years of age. And but like it's only from the neck down, and she takes Clapper Claw's like cranium contraption and sets that on to where the head is. And you just watch the vines wrap around it as what looks like a little boy made of vines and wood appears in this pot. And Alessandra says, we're friends, aren't we, Clapper?
I think so.
We're going to be really good friends. Do you know how to read?
No.
Well, I can teach you. I'm very good at teaching people how to read. And as she says this, she takes out a piece of paper, and she says, do you, Clapper, agree to take on a new body for yourself, free of cost?
I think so.
And there is just like an X that appears at the bottom, and you watch as the paper then like scrolls down, extends, wraps around, almost like a mummy wrap around this childlike form. And there is there's like a brilliant green light that then disappears, and on where this boy had been grown, you just see like a little wooden boy, but with like much more articulation. She says, I never learned how to shape flesh and muscle, but plants have their own way of moving. And you see Clapper like jump from the pot and motioning with his own mouth, just,
Well, yay! Ha ha ha!
And he's like, you see him like little like Pinocchio boy like running around. And he immediately goes over and gives Alessandra a big hug. And then he rushes over to you, Vice, and he gives you a big hug as well. I can watch over the boy.
Are you sure you don't mind?
I watched after you, didn't I?
Yeah, but I was also an adult.
It's true.
If anything, Clapperclaw is well behaved.
And Alessandra squats down so she's eye level with Clapper. Says, Clapperclaw, would you like to help me find some tea?
Uh-huh, yeah, you bet. You gave me a new body. I'll do anything.
Hey, young man,
Huh?
you are a guest in this house.
Uh-huh, reciprocity.
Yes, reciprocity.
And
That's
you
one way to
hear
say it.
you hear a from Alessandra and just like a nod. Just yes, reciprocity. Or as we like to call it, reciprocity. And then she will take Clapperclaw's hand and like pick him up, set him on the counter, and have him help look through the cupboards.
Sorry, Lady Alessandra, if you don't mind, my friend here has been missing his heart for quite some time. The previous owner of this hut put it somewhere. Do you mind if we look for it?
I hate everything in this house, other than you all. Take what you want.
Fuck yeah, whatever's not nailed down.
All I needed to hear.
We've started looting.
As long as it doesn't fight back, it's yours. And if it does fight back, just put it down quickly.
Weird. Okay. I have the bag of holding. Should I just hold it open?
We're going to be a bit more curated in our search. I'm not putting gore in there.
Clout's gonna like.
I would hope not.
Clout's gonna pick up a chair and just like break it over his knee. You know,
Oh
just
shit!
just for funsies.
Clout.
What?
Rage room.
Oh my god.
Rage room?
Before you do that, can we loot for actual useful things before you break everything?
I'm not familiar what a rage room is.
I think it's a place they go to vent temperatures.
I'm gonna show you.
Did you see what he just did to the chair?
Yes.
Like that, but the entire room.
Octavian gives a very, like, nonplussed shrug. Again, he doesn't have his heart. It's not like he can care about a lot of things.
Let's.
What do we loot?
Well, I would
Let's
recommend
go.
a quick sweep around before we start breaking things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go find his heart.
So, finding the heart is not entirely difficult. And as you go check into the rooms, you can actually see, like, in one of the rooms, you see that there is a red cap that has, like, a cleaver that's currently working at, like, cutting up some meat. But when you explain that, like, we've killed Bavlorna, we'll kill you too, she's just like, hey, I hated that old hag anyways. Like, is the new lady downstairs cool? She sounds neat. Like, I'll definitely make her food. I don't, like, again, I don't care. Like, she's very much, you guys do you.
Oh, well. If you're cool and we're cool.
She
Yeah,
gives a
cool.
thumbs up. And then asks, how do you like your steak?
Medium well.
Chef's choice?
Rare, please.
You say chef's choice, and there's just a big toothy grin from this red cap.
Oh, I hope you like your steaks rare, my friend.
And then, so looking through there, going into Bavlorna's workshop, you do not find much of anything, but throughout the room, let me see here, there is a trove of lesser goodies, and in the trove of lesser goodies, you find that there are various mementos and trinkets, including loose buttons of various shapes, colors, and materials, stray cutlery, An unopened love letters, not written or addressed to Bavlorna, but to long-dead people with whom Bavlorna had dealings. And you see Octavian, like, take some of them, like, these were mine.
Buddy.
There are old frayed coiled up belts, pressed flowers and loose dried petals, a horseshoe, feathers from various birds, and a chipped teacup. Among the
Give that to Alessandra.
others, you also see that there is a large mirror, a framed oval mirror that is 2 feet wide and 5 feet tall that hangs on one end of a hallway. And looking at it, you think you can actually see like bits and pieces of a carnival passing by in like excruciatingly slow motion.
That
Mirror
sounds
seems to be
familiar.
magic.
You would rightly guess that this is the Witchlight Carnival.
Gremlin brain want touch.
You can if you'd like.
Gremlin brain touch.
It is a mirror.
Ow. It's a mirror, what?
You don't just touch shit out of nowhere. How
Do
you
any of the three of you have the ways to detect whether or not this is cursed in some way?
Vice taps Clout on the chest and just says, "You're the biggest shit here." No, sorry, I do not have the magical faculties to use this mirror.
He's gonna give Vice a look, and then Balthador
Here.
starts laughing about it. And then Clout goes, "Oh, by the way, Clout, this is Balthador."
Balhadur Morthak, servant to
to
the
meet you.
Sealy Court and Queen Titania of the Feywild.
Looks over to Clout, who just introduced Vice as Clout.
I misspoke.
Okay. Vice.
Vice.
All around handyman.
Well, handyman, would you like to get your hands on this mirror? See if whether or not it is dangerous.
Shrug. I
Yeah.
don't have the magical know-how.
Yeah, sure, go ahead and get yourself cursed. I can't do anything about it.
What if I could?
What
I
about
tapped
you,
in.
young hag? Do you have the abilities to remove curses or diseases?
So not right now. I think it's just a mirror, though.
Well, typically, at least in my experience, just mirrors do usually reflect an image of yourself and not whatever fancy circuits this is on the other side.
Hey,
Right.
Simon,
Yeah.
could I do an intelligence check to see if I could figure out the timing, essentially, of how slow these people are moving?
Yeah, that would just be a straight intelligence check.
19.
19? They're moving at like 1/64th speed.
Okay.
So you see, there's this place called the Witchlight Carnival. That's actually where we all met, and then we came here. And Lowry's going to explain the Witchlight Carnival and how they found their way into this land.
That sounds fun.
It's been something. Not all fun.
So none of you are natural citizens of this realm?
Nope.
No.
Don't think so.
And what
I mean-
keeps you here?
Whisper, where are you from?
And Whisper, if a will-o-wisp could get a far-off look, like that 1,000-yard stare, like they like going from like casual floating to just like stops, slight turn, and in their will-o-wisp voice says, "I don't remember.
Oh,
Buddy.
shit. Whisper.
It's been years."
But not here, right?
No. No?
Not here.
Yes. No?
No.
Maybe.
Yes?
No?
Maybe.
And as you're having this conversation, you just hear a, "Hello!
Oh, God.
Is anyone there?"
Fucking
No.
hell.
Hello?
Is there
Hello?
another one?
Another one what?
And
How many goddamn prisoners did this bitch have?
Several.
And as you say this, you enter into a room, and inside of a cage, you see that there is a satyr, top half regular man, big furry hair, goat leggies on the bottom, and they are not wearing any clothes.
Oh God!
Can we help
cover
you?
Whisper's eyes.
Yes, I was trapped here some time ago, and I'm hoping that you could possibly open this gate. Oh, it's that guy!
And he points towards Balhadur.
Oh, it's good to see you again.
Ah,
Turns
good to
out
see you as well.
Waiting did work out.
And individual claps and just, my name is Vansel. If you could possibly again get me out.
What are
Maybe-
they? What are they in?
They're in a cage, and it just looks like kind of same cage that Balhadur was in. They just don't look like they are strong enough to physically get themselves out.
Cool. I'm just gonna test the door real quick, see if it opens.
The door is locked.
Well, I pull open the door.
Okay, yeah, make a strength check.
Natural 20 for a 29.
Oh my god, yeah, just every single set of bars that you go up to that Balhadur has seen, it's like string cheese to you. You're just motioning, and Vansel just thank you, and takes a couple steps out.
Would you like a tunic?
No, I'm fine.
You look cold.
What?
And he
looks down.
A
little.
Never mind.
They haven't been sheared in a while. It looks like they should be fine. A child down. It'll be all right.
And he says, if you're here, I'm assuming that Lorna has already gone in away.
Yes. Alessandra is now taking over the hut.
I don't know who that is, but if
It's my hag mother.
I see. And he will reach up to your face, Lowry. He does not come in direct contact with you, but he reaches behind your ear and he pulls out 4 small flowers between his fingers. And he just says, as thanks for helping me.
Hey,
I
what the
believe.
fuck?
Have you never heard of magic before? Sorry, I should have said magic.
Thank you. It's very cute.
One for you. One for the woman with the hat. One for the strong man. One for the loyal lizard. And one for you, I guess. You didn't really say much, but you seem nice. He hands one to you,
Appreciated.
Vice.
I've been in the cage for a moment.
The flower goes right in the mouth,
Yep.
and there's
Why?
a chewing.
What the fuck?
Like if Vice and Balhadur did the exact same thing.
What the hell? You want to get
Excellent.
poisoned? Because that's how you get poisoned.
As it would happen,
Oh no!
for 24 hours, all of you gain the properties of a good luck stone.
Oh.
What grade?
A good
Oh,
luck
good
stone.
grade.
Okay.
Even if you eat it?
Yes.
That way I can't lose it.
+1. Okay.
And
Sorry,
Vansel will bow and then make his leave of the group. And Octavian just... That guy's weird. He wasn't wearing pants, right?
That seemed a normal occurrence to me. Do you not have satyrs where you come from?
Not everyone has to wear pants.
That's
Pants
a
are
good
optional
point.
for a lot of people.
I only wear clothing because it provides additional armor.
Smart. You're a smart guy.
Vice looks down at his armor as Balhadur's saying that, and it just into a puff of smoke. Ah, shit.
That's
Is your armor on fire?
No, Pam had made it for me.
We can find you some more somewhere.
No, honestly, I think I move a little bit better without it. Sorry, the whole mirror thing threw me off track. For every second that passed by here, it looked like about a minute was going by. That doesn't add up with any of the time dilations we've seen so far.
You're saying time is moving faster where you came from?
Slower, actually.
Slower. Yeah.
Quite slower.
Octavian shrugs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, go to the meat locker. And when you arrive, you see that there is a small frost-covered wooden coffer that sits in the middle of the floor, and it seems like the cold is radiating from there. And as Octavian goes over to it, he opens up the box, and you see that light begins to emanate from it, and light begins to emanate from his chest. And you just watch as this anatomical heart levitates up out of the box, glows, and then just shoots back into his chest. And as it does, you see his body hop. And just, oh my God, it's back. It's here again. And he comes over, and Vice, he clasps you on both sides of the mouth and just Looney Tunes style, big ol' smooch, and then pulls you in for a hug again and just, thank you for this. There's no proper way that I could ever thank you, but you're a man of song, are you not? You know how to play. I know you know how to play. How do I know you know how to play? Because we played together, and it was wonderful. And do you know why I know that it was wonderful, Mr. Vice? Because I have my heart back, and I can feel these things again. Do you have any idea how good it is to feel your heart beating in your chest? It's
I don't
a
know.
strange sensation. I'll give you that, but there's more than that I will give you. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his set of pipes. I want you to have these.
Thanks.
I can learn how to play a variety of instruments now that I have my inspiration again.
I was going to say, do that again and you're gonna get more than a song.
Well, what are you doing tonight? You said that I was to meet you over at the inn at the end of the road.
Yes, well,
If that's the direction that you're heading, and he winks at you, I'll be there all evening. And he walks out of the room.
Pipes.
Ooh. Vice, add the Pipes of Haunting to your inventory.
Oh, shit.
Ruby.
Is this something only bards can do?
I'll play your pipes.
Proficient with wind instruments to use these pipes.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Oh well.
Okay, and then looking through the rest of Bavlorna's house, you also find that in Bavlorna's bedroom, that there is a 12-inch tall marionette that Bavlorna stole from her sister Endolin. It has faces on opposite sides of its head. One face is a moon, the other is the sun. As an art project, the marionette is worth 25 gold pieces. Or as an art object. You find an unpunched ticket from the Witchlight Carnival. The ticket is signed by Isolde.
Huh.
Do I know who Isolde is?
Clout, make a history check.
Oh boy.
RJ knows who Isolde is.
11.
11, Clout, you remember hearing stories from various members of the Witchlight Carnival that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light were not the original owners of the carnival.
Right.
It belonged to somebody else.
Was the original owner.
Yes.
Oh, damn. Interesting.
And you also find 3 spell scrolls of Identify tied together with a lute string.
Oh shit, these are handy.
You want to hold on to those?
Yeah, I could do that.
Clout will tuck away that Witchlight ticket.
Okay. And then inside of Bavlorna's hoard room, which you had been to before, where you remember the frog statue that has like the inky black maw that she was like reaching into to pull shit out of. Throughout the room, you find that there is a... let me see here. There is a porcelain jar made of varnished white clay that rests on a wooden table. The jar has legs that have been painted to look like the legs of a chicken. And inside, you find that there are 2 broken pieces of a wishbone. And then you also see a wooden mannequin is wearing a very nice, very regal-looking helm.
Think I should use one of these bad boys on the helm?
What bad voice?
Identify.
You could.
You're going to identify it with a gun?
No, it's a scroll.
Oh, I just see this.
Oh, no.
Identify.
Bang!
I know it has a
It's
bullet
not
hole in it.
bulletproof.
Lowry's gonna take that jar with the wishbone in it.
Okay. And it looks like the pieces of wishbone could fit perfectly together.
Somebody got a wish.
Yeah, I'll use one of the spell scrolls of Identify on the helm.
Okay. So the helm, with the help of the Identify spell, looks like a, or gives you the reading that it is a helm of telepathy.
Huh.
However, because it is adjacent, and I would feel bad otherwise, the mannequin that is wearing it is an animated armor.
Oh.
You
Okay.
seemed excited for a moment and then retracted your excitement.
Well, the helm is a helm of telepathy. It would let you be able to communicate via mind to people, but currently it's being worn by an animated armor.
Huh.
However, with that Identify, I also will give you that if you place a piece of headgear on its bare head, it has the effect of rendering the mannequin inanimate permanently. So if you do the Indiana Jones switcheroo...
Vice looks over at Lowry's hat, but then quickly looks away.
Try and take it, bitch.
I could try.
Would this helmet be of tactical benefit to your party?
Yeah, maybe.
I could
possibly,
just grow you a mushroom cap to put on it.
That could work.
What, it's like a magic something?
That was a sort of magic hat in a magic body.
What if I just dispel it?
You can try.
Well, then it would be a regular hat. Not as
no, the
helpful.
mannequin. The
No,
mannequin.
not the hat, the mannequin.
Certainly
I
try.
suppose that's one way of taking care of a foe.
You give it the good old college bar try.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. What about a spell modifier?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a 9.
That's a 9. So you dispel it, or at least you think that you've dispelled it, but there is no visible change that you can see.
That's good. That's good.
That's the way it works, right?
All right. Vice goes up and plucks the helmet off.
Okay. The armor then animates and begins to try and like aggress at you with grabby hands, like going back for the helm, and it looks like it is ready to beat the shit out of you until it can get that hat back.
Come on, now you can do it!
And then once you put the hat back on, the arms go to the side, and it like, takes a couple steps back, stands in its corner.
Could have sworn that would have worked.
Vice.
Druid crafts a large mushroom.
While Lowry's doing that, Vice is just constantly taking the helmet off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, putting it off.
And it's like when a kid first sees like, oh my god, this is a kung fu action one. Like it has like the karate chop motion every time you lift the hands off or helm off. The arms like go for you, and then you quickly put it back on, and it drops down. Vice, I'd like you to roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Sure. Can I overload this thing?
Balhador
20 for
chuckles at the fact
24.
that they never thought about using rope.
Yeah, so Vice, as you like
I
constantly
love
just
taking the hard road.
eventually, like, the arms are going, and then you just hear a ka-ting, and like one of the arms like doesn't go anymore, but the other arm is still going. And then
if I
Lowry, you
overload
finish
it-
with the large cap, and Vice just like grabs mushroom and then swaps. And you may now add a helm of telepathy to your inventory.
Clout makes himself sad thinking that Pam would love this.
Oh,
Well, congratulations on your new acquisition.
thank you. Huh. That's interesting.
What is?
While wearing this helm, you can use an action to cast Detect Thought. Spell save DC 13 from it. As long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you can use a bonus action to send a telepathic message to a creature you are focusing on. It can reply using a bonus action to do so while your focus continues. Oh, damn! While focusing on a creature with Detect Thought, you can use an action to cast Suggestion from the helm to the creature.
Sounds useful.
This won't fit over my horns.
What, like it'll fit over mine?
Looks to Lowry.
I'm not putting that on my head. I like my hat.
I'll figure something out. Sorry, Mr. Morthak, was it?
Balhadur Morthak.
Right. Hi, how can we help you?
Well, that's a good question. I was waiting for you all to finish what your current quest is, to ask a few questions. You had mentioned traveling to this place from another realm, or plane, or circus. I was curious, what is your objective here? It looks like you've already meddled somewhat in this realm.
Oh, not just somewhat. I believe there's only one hag left that controls part of Prismere.
That is correct.
One hag. So there was multiple hags that have chopped up this territory, and you're
Yes.
trying to do something about this. Are you allies of the builder?
Guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Technically, she's a distant member of my book club.
Oh! I should have assumed that she was a hag, but, it doesn't matter to me, so... So you are trying to restore her to power.
Sure.
She did create this land, so
She's
That
gonna
is
fix
true.
all this.
Well, my lord, Sir Talavad. Now, I'm not supposed to say they are my lord. We haven't worked together in about 30 years. But they were sent here to look for Sibilna in order to ask if they would like to ally themselves with the Sealy Court in order to fight the Fomorians. If you are saying that you are going to try to free them, I would be willing to provide assistance, since regardless, I am heading in the same direction as you.
are you good in a fight?
Am I good in a fight? I served with the Sealy Court for 35 years, and I have yet to die.
I don't know how those two things are mutually exclusive, but as long as you don't, we tend to get in fights and not even mean to. So
Well, if it is the combatant you are looking for, then you've found one. I am an excellent warrior. I am a bit out of shape, but I consider myself still good in a fight. And I have my own equipment.
As they slam their hand on the blue and white brigandine armor they have, bearing the emblem of Titania and Oberon mixed together.
Alright. Well, if you can promise not to screw us over in any future endeavors, welcome to the Proof of Fools.
Well, I suppose I've never figured out whether or not I can mate with a different species, but if you do not wish me to screw you over, I understand levels of consent, so... You do not have to worry about anything like that.
I like this one. He's shiny and dumb.
Please
Yeah,
don't pick on the new one.
You sure you can hold your own in a fight?
Well, it may not have been explained properly the first time, but if you are a knight of the Sealy Court, you tend to see quite a lot of combat getting at yours. So,
Right.
for 35 years, I have been at war with the Fomorians, and they have yet to kill me. And I have come back plenty of times for my adventures with stories to tell.
Right. I'm just saying we can't promise to protect you.
You all
Well,
can
you
make
should
a
not have to
history
worry
check
about that.
or an arcana check if you would like whenever Bahadur mentions the Fomorians.
Well, Wings knows what a Fomorian is.
Dirty 20 on Fomorians.
Okay, dirty 20,
14.
14.
17.
Okay, so Clout, you and Lowry, or Clout, you're like Fomorians. Those are like giants, kinda. Okay, so this guy says that he's been fighting giants for like 30 years. He probably has something. Vice, Fomorians, Flumps, it doesn't matter. He's shiny and dumb.
funny.
He seems fun. And Lowry, you know about Fomorians. Like, you've read books on them, you've seen depictions, like they're these grotesque, like malformed giants that have aligned themselves with the Fey Dark. Like, they're baddies. And if this dude says that he's like fought them for 30 plus years and always come back alive and always has stories to tell, that seems like a pretty good indicator of his fighting prowess, or their fighting prowess. Sorry.
Well, if you can hold up against a Fomorian, then I suppose you'll do just fine.
Excellent. So what are your combat proficiencies?
I turn into a horse.
A shapeshifter. The rest of you?
Not really much of a fighter. I can just, I can throw a punch.
Well, can you throw a punch harder than the other person?
Yeah, most likely. I kind of just
Perfect.
sort of grab them and wait for the rest of you to finish them off.
There is a amethyst dotted outline of where Vice used to be standing, and it just blinks several times. I stealthed for a 30.
Okay. Where are you stealthing to?
No, behind Balhadur, and then there's just a chick chick. Hello.
Hello.
Boy seems stealthy.
I'm the sneaky one.
Ah, the rogue or assassin of the party.
More like a rogue of the party with extra steps.
Do you have a healer in the party?
Technically also me.
I
Understood.
know a thing or two. Not reliable.
Well, I have some healing magic to provide, albeit it is not my speciality.
Yeah, I know a little bit of magic. Hasn't been very helpful, but well. What can you do? Say a fuck off giant comes running at you. What's your go-to?
Well, I consider myself a bit of a master tactician. I specialize in reading an environment and finding the perfect time to strike. I am excellent with a bow, although I prefer to be in melee combat myself. I have a bit of spell-casting abilities that I have been granted, blessed by Titania. I'm good at tracking. I'm good at I'm somewhat good at stealth. I'm quite the detective. Sir Talavar and I were sent on quite a bit of investigative missions. I can tell you about some of our cases sometime.
All right, well, you're a detective. Maybe you can help us find some lost things.
What types of lost things are you looking for?
Zabilna, for one thing. We're also looking for, it's kind of hard to explain, some hands.
So, there was a woman that was here earlier. She flies around in a storm balloon. Her name is Charm. And she stole our friend's hands.
You plan on the hands preserved in some way? What is the benefit about returning severed hands?
They're not severed. It's like,
The talent was stolen.
Oh, interesting.
yeah, figuratively.
And so you are hunting this person down to find the hands, and then on top of that, you are looking for Zabilna.
Yeah.
Well, we know where Zabilna is. We just need to find a way to recover her.
Ah,
I mean,
Well-
we just need to get the unicorn to her, right?
I think so.
No.
you've met some unicorns. That will save us some time. Powerful magicians they are.
Yeah.
One of them even offered to take us to Yon.
What is yon?
Baladar, you would remember that Yon is the third area. Alessandro would have filled you in on that much.
Ah, okay. You know, when I first visited this place, it was called the Domain of Delight, I believe. It was a lot more colorful back then. I didn't expect much of a swamp.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can make it like that again.
Oh,
Guessing it'll go back to the way it was.
some very interesting intel that I should have probably told all of you before all of this. When we're fighting Endelyn, she doesn't die.
She
Endelyn is
doesn't-
the third hag.
Yes. Endelyn Moonbrand.
She doesn't die?
Well, apparently, a little beetle told me that we need to slay her underneath an eclipse or something, even an effigy of an eclipse, or she comes back.
Oh, who says we actually even have to fight her? Maybe we can just.
I mean, considering our fucking track record, Clout.
well, considering our fucking track record, I think maybe we shouldn't.
I don't know, it sounds like you've managed to take down 2 out of 3 hags so far. I'd assume your combat capabilities are higher than you believe. Hags are not difficult creatures to take down.
Our kill to death ratio isn't very good.
And what is the kill to death ratio?
1-to-1.
You have killed 1 hag, and 1 has died. Those numbers don't seem to add up to me. At
Yeah.
least 2 hags have died, and I'd assume they'd had servants and defenders.
Two of us have died. Yep.
Also, there were 5 of you at one point.
Nope, it's complicated.
Oh, if you're talking about resurrections, you cannot count those. You're still here. You're still ready to fight. You're not dead yet.
Also, technically speaking, you didn't die to a hag, you died to a tree.
That's true.
That's just an interesting story I'd like to hear at some point.
This wizard is insufferable.
Which one?
Okay, I'm gonna go break something.
Okay,
Just walks away. Smash, smash, smash.
sounds good. And then once you are back in the study where Alessandra and Clapperclaw have been making, they found, like, Alessandra has effectively like used their archfey powers to bring teas from home to be able to make, and like at the table she's teaching Clapperclaw like, okay, this is how long you steep this one for. This one's actually like a blooming tea, so you put it a ball in some in the hot water, and it'll just steadily make itself over time, and like kind of giving the whole explanation on that. And Alessandra, upon seeing your group, welcomes you back as she is wont to do. Offers that you can have as much and many teas as you would like, and then also makes a note that did any of you happen to find a key by chance? There's a cabinet in this kitchen I've been trying to get into, but I haven't seemed to be able to actually... I'm not a lock-picking witch, to say.
I could take a crack at it.
Oh wait. Yes. Digs around.
Okay.
It's my one thing, Clout.
And Clout, as you open up this cabinet, there are 2 shelves. On the bottom shelf, there are 3 magic potions labeled in Elvish. Potion of Diminution, labeled Shrink. And then there is a potion of Growth, labeled Grow, and a potion of Invisibility, labeled Vanish.
I got a question. What happens if I drink a potion that grows ya when you're already growed?
Go another size category up.
Yep.
You get even bigger?
Yeah, because if you do it on a potion, you don't maintain concentration on it, because that's part of the potion's property. So you would just grow, and then if you cast Enlarge again, you would get even bigger.
You can
Yep.
technically stack up to 3 size growths if you do it right.
I
Yeah.
think that
If you're a
Clout's,
Rune Knight, you'd be able to do it again.
I think that Clout's eyebrows just sort of raise when he sees this potion, and he goes, "Oh, this one's mine."
You even knew what's inside of it?
I know what might be inside of it. I don't know. You want to see?
Well, from where I can read, it reads grow in Elvish.
Yeah.
Clout, it is also to note that when you open these doors, there is a stuffed cat that is on
Oh,
the
God.
top shelf that you see, like, has, like, the arms straight out, like it looks like a really weird stuffed cat made out of at least 3 cats in total
Yeah.
to be put together. And as you open the door, it goes from being solid to its head turns towards you and just...
Ha!
And then, like, actually, like, swipes at you, jumps down onto the ground, and scurries away.
Aha! Case of the twin teddy bears. I have to tell Sir Talavan about this.
Anybody see where that went?
And, like, you just hear, like, rummaging off. Like, when a cat has the zoomies in a room you can't see, that's what's going on with this cat.
It's not our problem.
Lowry's gonna go after the cat.
Okay.
Kitty.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Lowry, you chase the cat around for a while, and make a animal handling check. Animal handling or insight, whichever's better.
Oh, oof. My animal handling was an 8.
An 8, yeah, every, like, between attempts to grab at this cat, and try and pick it up and just be a good heckin' people for it, you will take a total of 3 points of slashing damage. And eventually it will find the open door and just rush out, and you see it like leaps into the water and just like pat, 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 pat. Like it's just swimming away.
It was so cute.
Looks like it's got places to be. Alright, is this actually a growth potion, or is this hag bullshit?
Alessandra will grab it, pop the cork, smell, cork back, growth potion.
Cool. So this one says vanish. I can assume it's invisibility, and this one says shrink. So I assume it's reduced.
Yep. That is correct.
So one makes you larger and the other makes you small.
And there are 3 shrinks, 1 invisibility, 1 growth.
I'm gonna write down the growth. Somebody else wants to write down all the other potions.
Anyone want shrink potions?
I am less combat efficient if I am small.
Maybe you should hold on to that. It might be nice to slip into someone's tea.
Or use it for stealth if you need to climb into some small things.
That's true.
Okay. It looks
Just
like
saying.
that
We're gonna
is.
fight Endolin. I'd really prefer her not to be big enough to swallow us.
Honestly, that would have been useful when we were fighting Scabatha.
Now, Lowry, as you were also running around trying to chase the cat, you did once again take note of the lily pad that was floating in the water, but it seems to again be levitating on the air. And you get the sense, because of your tie with hags and such things, that this 10-foot diameter leaf has tendrils upon the bottom that actually propel it up into the air. And it looks like, and you get the feeling that if you took some time with it, this lily pad would then be able to be used by you.
Does anyone want the lily pad?
No, I don't get any nutrition from it. Thank you.
I have a lot of magical goodies already. Maybe you should take this one.
Lowry's gonna start examining it and figuring out how it works.
Okay. Yeah, so if you would like to attune to it, it is the Bobbing Lily Pad. Bobbing Lily Pad. It has a walking, flying, and swimming speed of 20 feet and can hover, and it can transport up to 300 pounds without hindrance.
Nice.
Or Balhador can't get on it by default.
Oh, really?
Balhador is 450 pounds.
Oh,
Holy
no.
moly. I even lift them?
Yeah, you could.
Forget
If you believe in
sword
yourself.
rules.
You try really hard.
So this tavern, this is your base of operations or something?
A friend owns it. It's a good
Ah,
place to
more
stay.
allies.
You'd like Sue. She's a nice gal.
Where is this Sue?
It's a bit of a swim, but we were planning to head back if you wish to accompany us.
I think I can get us all there on this.
The lily pad?
Mm-hmm. It should be able to hold all of us because it can actually hold twice its weight, but move at half speed.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So it can at least get you across the water.
mhm.
Slowly.
Well, I haven't been doing a lot of stretching, but I have gained some fatigue from sitting in a cage for several days, so I wouldn't mind a short rest.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea not to get back in that water again.
Yeah, and Alessandra says that you're more than welcome to take a short rest here.
Are there any timetables that I should be aware of? Curses that expire in a day, or bounty hunters that come for you within a week or something?
Not anymore. No.
Excellent.
Bounty hunters, no. Can't find
Oh,
it
well.
here.
We did just kill 2 of her sisters.
That is true. But you've been through a lot today. You killed a hag, you lost an ally. I think it would be wise for you all to get a good night's rest.
Much rather do it at the tavern. So let's take a quick hour or two here and make our way back.
Okay. Sounds good. So, spend an hour or two here taking a short rest. You can do all your short rest actions, gain back any spell slots if that's within your character class, all of those sorts of things. Spend hit die. Have fun with it. You know, explore the space.
Bard.
Bard!
Bard. Short rest Bard.
Bard and in charge.
Ranger spells.
There's something here. Hold on. Song of Rest. If you spend hit die, gain an extra d6. I'll roll it for you. 4. Get an extra 4.
Okay. Sounds good. So,
With all that bullshit, I'm back up to full.
hey. All right, so as a short rest comes to a close, Alessandra will once again reiterate that she is going to make a few adjustments here, but given her new strength, given her new abilities, if you need quick transfer to Yawn, she would be able to at least send you through the mist. She might not be able to see directly where she's sending you, but she knows that she can at least get you there.
So you can get us there. The unicorn, did you say it could take you there as well? Which one is more accurate to where we need to go?
We need to pick the unicorn up because they have the ability to freeze a building.
So that is important then. We have to go get them.
If you'd like,
Do you
I could
know
send
if
them as
you're-
well. Or talk to Will. You have a way of communicating where they are. That way you don't have to worry about where someone might be.
Perfect.
Rendezvous with the unicorn?
Sorry, what was that?
Guess we could rendezvous with the unicorn?
I think that's a good
Sounds
idea.
wise.
Mhm.
The other person that flew away, do you know if that person as well went to Yon, or should we focus on finding them first?
Don't know their holding patterns or their current movements. So, honestly,
Well,
we ask around.
if we get into a certain mile radius of them and it's a shit shot at first, I can try and narrow down where they are with my tracking abilities. But we will have to find some sort of clue to start on.
Well, if we can't find her, then Zabilno said that she would fix everything, so
You spoke to her?
Uh-huh.
kind of. Oh, it was a near-death experience. He points at his cheek.
Yeah, you were branded to death?
No, this happened after I died. Brought me back to life, I think. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, if she can fix things, then she can help us find your missing hands and the person who had stolen them.
Right.
Excellent. So, unicorn, palace, justice. Sounds pretty simple to me.
Let's hold off on the simplicity until we see how things get overcomplicated when we hit Yon.
We will see.
Okay, so with that in mind, heading off to the inn at the end of the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Heading off to the
Loading
inn at
off
the end of
that.
the road. Enter the inn at the end of the road. You hear music actually being played from inside, and you can hear that there are happy frog croaks that are coming from inside as well. As noted, as you were exiting down the bottom of Bavlorna's hut, you can actually see that Alessandra's hut itself has like latched itself onto the bottom, and it looks almost like the. Yes, I'm sorry to all you audiocast listeners right there. It seems that the static is coming from my end. I apologize. I have no way of fixing this. Let me try and do... Maybe, hopefully. I'm coming from the Logitech mic. No. Cool.
Take it back! Take it back!
Fixed. There. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know. But as here, it's probably maybe like adjacent to my phone.
I'm not hearing any static.
There was static for a minute.
They're
And
Yeah.
set
went
on the
away.
stream.
They're static on the
Yeah.
stream, is what they're saying. But
Mm.
Bit
hopefully,
rate then, probably.
Yep. But so you are able to go to the inn at the end of the road. I shouldn't be muted. This is fun. I'm having fun. You guys having fun? So inn at the end of the road, because it's still showing that it's picking up audio on my end. So I'm just going to think that the audio is fine on that. You get to the inn at the end of the road. Upon arriving, you can hear music, and gotcha. Okay, I think I know what the problem is, but we can talk about that later. Everything is fine. Again, you see Octavian is currently playing. There are frogmen, these bullywugs that seem to be having a new happy dance going on. Balladur, this is wow! What a great time! What a fantastic time! People
I
are
didn't
having
realize
fun.
this was such a festive tavern.
When you all enter in, Octavian pauses, points towards your group, and says, "The people who gave me my dancing shoes." A round of applause, and 3-4 frogmen are clapping their very wet hands as they do so. And Sue is a big smile on her face as she's just drinks, 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 food, drinks, food, food, drinks. Just giving people everything that they ask for. And Octavian calls for you, Vice, to join him on stage.
Give me a minute, please. I need to prepare myself.
And he's like, "No, come on, come on." Make a persuasion check.
I'm good.
18.
18? Okay, he'll respect that. And then just sort of bah! Bow his hand towards you and then just go back to playing.
Vice will pull out Pincushion and ask her, "Do you know how to dance?"
She shrugs.
Could you help Sue out with serving everyone then?
At that, she nods and does the whole doll head nod, and then pops down, rushes over onto the counter, and is just running drinks back and forth.
Vice looks over to Lowry and then nods his head outside. And he'll make his way there.
I'll be right back.
Clout's gonna grab a drink and sit down.
Okay.
There are some libations in between times of turmoil.
And Balladur, there's a lot of mushrooms here. There's not a whole lot of meat, but there's food. And that's the part that counts. Okay, so Vice, Lowry, the two of you are outside.
Hey,
Did you need something?
you've got a new mushroom.
I do.
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't think I got the goggles right.
I think they look plenty fine. He'll find a place to sit down and pat next to him.
She'll sit.
So, tell me about your mushrooms.
Oh, well, this one is Pam, and this one over here is Osifarin. He tells horrible dad jokes. Her is this one, and oh, this is Wolf. He does not like you. This is Sunrise. She really likes you, and that's Nutmuck. I don't want to say what they say about you.
I can gather from the name Nutmuck. I'm trying to recall if I was there for the reveal of Lowry's mushrooms. No, that was just Clout, right?
Yep.
It was just Clout.
So, you're carrying the memory of your friends on your hat?
I guess. I don't know, I woke up, I was different, and the next thing I knew, I had a mushroom hat, and then mushrooms on my hat.
What happened to Pam was no one's fault. I know everyone grieves in their different ways, but if you're going to, don't beat yourself up about it. You have every single right to be sad, mad, whatever emotions you're feeling right now. But don't let it eat you up.
Sometimes when people hurt me or people I care about, I lose control. That was only the second time it's ever happened. I'm scared if something happens to you or Clout, it'll happen again.
We live a life of adventures. It may happen someday, it may not. If I were to go suddenly, without any pomp and circumstance, it might be hard for you, but I'd ask if you just remember me fondly. Smile. There's enough tears in this world already. I think Pam wants you to smile too. He was a fucking toy maker after all.
I wish I could have seen him like this.
If him making toys was as fervorous as when he made Clapperclaw's body, I don't think you'd want to see him make toys, honestly. Little
I
man
think I
would
would.
get so absorbed.
That's what people do when they love what they're doing. I used to get lost in drawing the perfect map.
What happened?
People decided that they needed the perfect map for the wrong thing. And I was the one who made it.
It's understandable. You know, if you ever feel up to it, I'd love to see one of your maps.
I have them hanging in my room. In Alexandra's hut.
Oh lord, that's such a far walk.
There's a floating lily pad.
Vice is gonna look through the door over at Clout and just telepathically, there's the amethyst walkie-talkie in his hand again, and he'll just press into it. Hey, Lowry and I are going out for a bit of a walk.
Clout's like mid swig as he's really hitting the drink.
Could you distract my bod friend?
You owe me.
Kisses. Mwah.
Give me another drink. I'm gonna need it.
And Pincushion, the doll, has been serving drinks now to help Sue. And they just, like, rock their head back and forth so that way you get the confirmation of the eyes.
While Clout is drinking mostly to himself, I want to say that like he's gonna catch up Whisper on everything that happened, and he says to Whisper, "Yeah, so Pam's dead."
And Whisper says, I know.
Not forever, though. We're gonna get him back.
And Whisper will place themselves under your chin and above your collarbone in that tender area of the neck, and you just feel a slight warmth from them, and you hear, I know.
Just gotta get those hands back, and Zybilna will set it right. Just wants his hands back. That's it. I gotta get the hands, and then Zybilna. She said she'd make it right. He finishes his drink.
And Whisper will just kind of hang out next to you at this time. Lowry, as you and Vice are walking towards Alessandra's hut, there is that creeping sensation that you get where it is your mushrooms speaking to you. And you can hear them saying things like, it is your fault. This is the reason, like, you're the reason why it happened. You lost control again. And as they are saying these things to try and seep themselves deeper into your psyche, you hear one voice speak louder than the rest. Hey, Media, as Pamferdam, what would you say to quiet all of the hurtful voices inside of her head?
Hey, you all need to you really need to shut the heck up and stop being so mean to Lowry.
And Lowry, as that voice pierces through, the rest of the voices stop. And as those other voices cease, and Lowry, you find yourself walking, feeling not necessarily good about the day that has occurred, but just a little bit lighter internally. That is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful game of Dungeons and Dragons. We do shows like this 3 times a week, but I'll get into that here shortly. But I had a blast tonight. I had an absolutely great time, but I always have a great time whenever you guys are on the channel. Hey, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at rjustice22 on Twitter and Twitch, making all my friends cry. Mondays and Sundays, you can catch me over here. Mondays for our 5e homebrew campaign as Caleb, the Shatterkai Wizard. Wow, let's say Wizard Cleric. That's a blast from the past. And of course, Vice, the Tiefling Rogue Warlock. Thursdays over at G Game Nights, where we do Elegant Creatures, which is an Urban Shadows Good Society hack where we're all going on dates. Time is passing, and we're just having a blast. I'm reopening up my bar to some BTS wannabes as a training space. It's weird. Saturdays, catch me over again at GGK for Pathfinder and our new game of Parslings called Ward 47. Parslings is a deck builder TTRPG, which is really rad. You write words on your cards, and you can apply them to certain checks. So, my guy, raised by wolves, so he has feral in his deck. Other than that, me and Sarah and I were over at Lore by Night, where we do a Vampire the Masquerade one-shot. I'm just a heckin' himbo. If you want to see a dog and a cat living with each other, go there. That's the best description I can have of that. DanaeKeener.com.
I have a better description. I was the dad who didn't want the dog, and then the family adopted the dog anyways. And now, if anything happens to the dog, I'm gonna fight God. Hey everybody, I am Sarah. I played Lowry Moon tonight, and I cried 3 times. You can find me all over the internet as, for those listening in the audio cast, Simon just did a yes motion, pulling his fist towards him in glee. And you can find me all over the internet as TheHypeGoblin, doing character cosplays, except for right now because I'm extremely sunburnt. And doing a whole bunch of nerdy stuff. There's going to be some new Sailor Moon cosplay shenanigans eventually going up on my YouTube channel. And of course, you can find me over on the podcast that we did, Pride by Night, bi as in bisexual, for that wonderful Lore by Night podcast with RJ. And on Saturdays, you can find me in Numenera over on my own channel on Twitch, as well as on YouTube, and also now in podcast format for your listening pleasure. And we're taking a month off fully from Nexus Adventures, so that will be returning August 7th. And I'm going to be all over the internet, so just follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet about it. TheHypeGoblin.com.
Howdy everybody, I'm Mediaflare. I am a voice actor and tabletop streamer. I do some gaming as well. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, pretty much everything at Mediaflare. I am here on Sundays and Thursdays, and you can also find me on my channel on Mondays and Fridays, with some various scheduled stuff happening in between. You can also hear me as Russell Gainsley, an intern journalist for HubNet in Star Citizen. And I will see y'all soon. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there with my schedule, so you can see all the games that I'm in. I need to update Star Power so that it no longer says Star Power and it says Power Slings. That's going to be really fun. I'm super excited about that one. There's a mechanic in it that requires you to literally stuff an ace up your sleeve. It's going to be so cool. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, all here at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all the shows that we do on this channel, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are being made available for free and find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for yourself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on the Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But like I said, we are going to be going into that after show, so I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, and we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody, stick around. We're going to be reading Vorpal Tales, that's where we're going. All right, we'll see you all shortly. Bye-bye!